Okay, everybody. So now you rocking with Jonathan Smalls. This is, I call it attraction. So many people call it mind games, but I call it attraction. You know, that's the phrase that pays. So now listen, I have this woman. So I want to talk about this topic, okay? Is this woman on Facebook? I'm on Facebook. I'm on all of the different relationship groups, you know, many different relationship groups and forums where people are asking questions. They're looking for advice. They're looking for answers, you know, bottom line. And so trying to figure things out concerning their relationship, concerning their marriage, if they're dating, you know, they looking to see if they can get some help or get some kind of guidance on what to do or where to go within it. So I have this girl, her name's Sarah. She said, could you be okay with your BFF sleeping with your ex because they know how hot the sex was because you said it was? Years gone by or not, would you be okay with it? I'm not referring to myself in this situation, by the way. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys. She asked the question, hey, would you be okay with this? Your BFF, your best friend forever, I think that stands for. Would you be okay with them going out with your ex, the last person you dated, the last person you was with and had some type of feelings or relationship for, or whatever the case? Would that be okay to you in your mind? With me, I say absolutely. And here's why. Because for one, I know my worth. I know my value is high. I have worth. I am somebody. You know, I am loved and I love myself. And that's, excuse me, that's one of the most important things is that we love ourselves, that we make ourselves a priority enough that we love us. You know, we love us so much that we put our value high. Our value isn't low. We set the standard high for our value. And because I love me so much, I'm focused on succeeding in life. I'm focused on my purpose. I'm focused on my mission. I'm focused on my future. I'm not looking back in the past. You know, who can move forward while looking back? You're gonna trip and fall down, you know? So like just take a second to think about something that simple, right? So you know, but I also understand that people come and go in your life. And so that doesn't mean that that person was meant for you. You know, someone comes in your life and then you meet them and y'all have some type of dating or relationship. That doesn't automatically mean that that person is meant for you because they came in your life, you know. And so it may have been that they actually are meant for your friend, but they had to meet you in order to ever know your friend. And now that's happened. Now think about that. Some of you probably know people this happened to. You know, some of you probably seen this in real time where you have a friend or somebody who the person who you was with, it didn't work out with y'all, but then you have a friend and later, you know, it can even be years later and they end up, you know, connecting with that friend and then boom, and now they together, they fell in love, they had kids, they had a marriage. And look, they would have never had that marriage and kids and you know all these great things, all these things that's really something that we should celebrate. They would have never had all of that if they didn't. They had to meet you in order to meet them. You know, I don't know if you guys understand what I mean when I say that. So that's something that's like that's deep. You know what I mean? So it don't necessarily mean that y'all are meant to be together, you know, if you when you meet them. And so I think the problem with that is that comes from a place of lack. That comes from a place of insecurity where any person you meet, you just by default you take ownership of that person and you say, oh, this person is mine, they belong to me. Well, you barely you barely know them. You know, like we just met 3 weeks ago. We went on what, 2 dates? You know, one date. Like you barely know me. How am I yours? You know what I'm saying? When you first meet, when you dating somebody, you know, it could be 2 months, 3 months, right? You dating somebody for that period, that person is not obligated to you and you're not obligated to them. That person can date other people. You can date other people. You're not obligated to them. The only time you become obligated is when you both agree and go into a committed relationship together and you both agree about that. That's the only time you're obligated. Otherwise, you have no obligation. So when people do this, it comes from a place of lack, a place of not having, a place of, you're unsure of yourself. You're not secure or confident in who you are, so you want to try to like lock down any person that comes to your life because you don't feel good about yourself, and love yourself enough to set boundaries and make the right decision to, to be able to keep that person in your life by allowing them to be free. Because real love is when you love a person so much that you allow them to be free. That's true love. You're not forcing them. True love is not by force. It's free because the other person has to be able to choose you. The recipient, they got to be able to choose you, and if they don't choose you, that means it's not by free. It's by force. You're forcing them to be with you. If I told a girl, put a gun to her head, say, girl, you gonna be with me. Is that true love? Just think about that. That's not true. I'm forcing her. Yes, I'm gonna be with you. I love you. That's because the gun to her head, you're forcing her. Okay, so we can't force love. Love is not by force. And so this is what happens. So when people have this kind of mentality, it's very unhealthy. It's very toxic. But there's many people, that have this kind of mentality of taking ownership of someone who doesn't belong to them. Now, what do we call that? That's possessive. That's possessiveness. This person has a possessive disorder. They're controlling. This is a controlling person that wants to be in control. And when you do that, you're in a place of lack where you want to control, the people who you want to love or you want to love you. You want to control the narrative so they won't leave you, and that's not true love. So I definitely would be okay with my best friend being with one of my exes because I look at it like this. Hey, I moved on. I'm doing my thing. I'm good, and if me and my ex didn't work out, what does that mean? That means that, for whatever reason it didn't work out, that means it wasn't meant. Because obviously if it was meant, we would be together, right? Right. So since we're not together, that means it wasn't meant. And so therefore I've already moved on. She moved on. Do your thing. I'm not holding no attachment to you. Now, when you get mad and angry and you want to fight your best friend and threaten them and, all this stuff, that comes from a place of insecurity. You're insecure about who you are. You're not secure within yourself. You don't have enough confidence to say, you know what, I'm a catch. I'm good. She can have my mans. I'm cool. I done moved on to bigger and better. But this is the mentality of high value people. We look at it like, oh, I'm gonna have something better by the end of the week or next week. I'm something more fitting for me in the first place. She wasn't, I thought she was good, but she wasn't fitting. That's why it didn't work. We don't care about stuff like that. But when you don't value yourself in a highlight, when you don't see yourself as a catch, you tend to try to take possession of people. You tend to be controlling and to have these old attachments with people that it's not like that for people who are secure and confident and they know that they can have any person they want, pretty much. Anybody we want, we can have. Like, I know I can go out and we can get this. This is nothing. Like, why would I be chilling about somebody from the past? I'm living to move on to the future. I'm not looking back in the past. So to me, that's crazy, people that have that mentality. And I've even said this, even let's say if it was my girl or something, right? Now, I would take this as, babe, you mean to tell me your best friend is going out with your ex and you're mad about that? And they freaking falling in love? Why would you be upset about that? Now, if I seen her upset about that, how do you think that'd make me feel? Oh, so you still got feelings for him because you worried about this so much. That obviously means you're dwelling on him. Your heart is with him. And if that's the case, why are you with me? If your heart's with him, why are you with me? And these the questions that I would pose. This is what I would ask. So I would be about ready to leave her over something like that, because just seeing that that's where her heart is. So when you got attachments like that, it's definitely unhealthy, and you haven't learned how to properly love yourself. And that is the solution to all of this, is to properly love yourself. And you won't be in a position to be like this, because this comes off as needy and desperate, as if you have no options. High value people who secure with who they are on the inside, we have options. We're not desperate. We can take our time. It's not the end of the world. And that's how we see life. We see it from an optimistic point of view, not a pessimistic view like, oh, she's the last one on earth. There's nobody else like her. She was the most special. No, that's not it. But this is a people of low value. This is how they take it. And when I say low value, I'm not in no way trying to belittle or demean, anyone, any of the men, anybody, but and if you feel like I'm being insensitive and things of that nature, then you really need to hear this. This is something you really need to take my program, And so it's definitely not to do that, but it's to kind of charge the man. It's to kind of press them to be men, Let the feminine ways go, and start to be man, start to be dominant, start to be secure, start to be direct, start to be confident, start to be assertive, take charge, take the lead, stop operating in your feminine energy, and so they call it mind games. I call it attraction. It's the name of the game. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Till next time. Peace.